Hi, I'm Tracy from Jivana, and we want to really break down today the very basics and the nuts and bolts of Ayurveda. So when you go to a dosha quiz or somebody asks you, hey, what's your dosha? Some people know that, not everybody does, but there are two things that you really need to keep in mind when you're thinking about what is your dosha. And that is your Prakruti and your Vikruti. When you think about what is your dosha, you kind of have two. You have the dosha that you were born with, and you have your dosha that you are today. And it's important to know the differences between those, because when we talk about staying in balance, and we talk about balance all the time in Ayurveda, this is kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about staying in balance between your Prakruti, how you were born, and your Vikruti today. We always want to keep the Prakruti and the Vikruti as close together as possible, and that is what contributes to you feeling your very best. So let's break that down just a bit. When everybody is born, they're born with a very unique constitution called your Prakruti. So we all have all of the doshas within us, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, but it's a very unique constitution, a very unique makeup for each of us. It's just like your fingerprint. We all have a very unique fingerprint. No two are alike in the whole universe, right? It's the same with your Prakruti. So there's really no way to measure exactly, to the percentage, how much Vata were you born with, or Kapha or Pitta. We can't measure that completely, but we can get an idea by taking a quiz or having a consultation with a good practitioner. So you want to know exactly what you were born with in terms of your dosha makeup, and have a good idea what that is. That would be your dominant dosha, is your dominant dosha that you were born with, Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, or maybe you have two that were dominant when you were born, and that's okay too. A lot of us do have that. And then secondly, you want to determine what is your dosha makeup today. And maybe it's pretty similar to what your Prakruti is, and if so, you're probably feeling pretty good, because when you're in balance, that's when you have your optimal health, and that's when you're feeling really good. Really good meaning you have good energy, you're sleeping well, your digestion is flowing regularly, you have good digestive fire, meaning you're metabolizing things regularly, and you don't have GI upset or anything like that. Your skin is clear, it's radiating, you're doing great. When you are not in balance, you have things that you're suffering from on a kind of daily basis. Like you may have some skin breakouts or rashes or hives, redness. You may have maybe dullness in your complexion. You may have some GI upset, some heartburn or constipation or diarrhea, or just heaviness in the GI system in general. Maybe fatigue, headaches, you're not sleeping well, those kinds of things. So if you're experiencing anything like that, or a slew of other symptoms you could be having, it probably means that you're not in balance with your Prakruti. So you determine what is your Vikruti then. Where is the imbalance? Where does that lie? And then you want to bring that dosha, or those doshas which are out of balance, back into balance, and then you'll probably feel a lot better. So we will talk about in another video, how do you determine which doshas are not in balance, and how do you bring those back into balance. The doshas are made up of the 5 elements. So air, ether, water, fire, and earth. So those comprise all of the doshas. So we all have all the elements in us as well, right? Because we all have the 3 doshas, so we must all have all of the elements. We describe them by using 20 gunas. Gunas are just properties or qualities. So they're 10 sets of opposites. It's like heavy, light, hot, cold, subtle, dense, things like that. So we can use those gunas to really describe anything in the universe around us. So all matter, we can use the gunas to describe those things. This is important because when we go to bring our Vikruti back into balance with our Prakruti, we can use those gunas and apply those to the foods we're eating, to the exercise we're doing, to our lifestyle. So let's say we're out of balance and we need to add some density back into our life. We may add some foods that are dense, like root vegetables, sweet potatoes, meat, ghee, things like that. Maybe we would add something in our lifestyle like extra sleep or some restorative yoga, and that would provide some stability and grounding to our life and bring us back into balance, bring us the Vikruti back into balance with our Prakruti. So we'll talk more about the gunas and the elements and how they apply to keeping the doshas in balance in second video. So it's really important to know both your Vikruti, what you are today, and your Prakruti, how you were born, in order to make Ayurveda work for you. And a good quiz will help you figure that out, or a good practitioner as well. And things that will affect your Vikruti are stress, the foods you're eating, your lifestyle, your sleep patterns, medication, the seasons, even the time of day. So many things affect your Vikruti, so it's impossible to have that stay steady your whole life. That's just not going to happen. Also, we live in a modern world. We don't live 5,000 years ago when Ayurveda was first invented. So clearly everybody's Vikruti is going to fluctuate, and that's just how it is. But the important thing is knowing what you can do on a daily basis to just kind of help mitigate those random changes that happen. So definitely keeping in mind your Prakruti and where you want to be, and then your Vikruti, anticipating those changes that are going to happen regardless, just because we live in a modern world and have a busy life, and knowing things that you can incorporate into your life to keep yourself balanced will help you feel your best. So I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you watch the next video on the gunas, the doshas, and the elements, because that will help tie all of this together a little bit more for you. Definitely make sure you fill out our dosha quiz and see what your dosha is. If you haven't figured that out yet or don't know, check out our blogs on our website and make sure you sign up for our newsletter on lovejivana.com. See you next time.